Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Stringer, the founder of Square 32. We're a marketing and communications agency focused on companies in education and EdTech. Over the past few weeks, I've had the privilege of attending industry events, and one in particular where a group of founders was put really to the test in a Shark Tank style pitch session. So we had dozens of EdTech founders and EdTech startup teams pitch to a panel of people who are really involved in EdTech and EdTech investors. And I wanted to share 4 key takeaways and trends that came out through these conversations, things that I noticed during pitches, and other questions that investors or other experts were asking. So there are 4 key takeaways, and I'll tell you those 4 and then get into them in a little more detail. The first one, retention. The second one is new investors in the space. 3, the next budget increase areas, the next trends that we see schools and districts really spending on. And then 4, a little bit of a hot take, especially in the ed tech space, but print. So thinking about retention, our first takeaway, I heard from a lot of investors who wanted founders to better explain what their plan was for retaining customers and the influx of users that they accumulated during COVID. So as schools scrambled to move to remote learning, parents scrambled at home to get their kids set up, a lot of platforms had an increase in their customer base. Some of them even offered free product or discounted product. And so retaining those customers becomes really important. So as those people have entered your funnel, they have free access to the platform. How do you convert them and make them long-term users? The other thing that we're hearing is that there are a lot of new investors in the space, which is exciting because there is opportunity, there's new financing in the market, but we also know it's ever changing and very competitive right now. So these investors that are coming, that are new to the space, might not know all of the nuances of the market and might not be as experienced. The budget increases, there are 2 different areas that we're seeing signals from the marketplace that these budget areas will increase for schools. One is social emotional learning. So as you've talked to district leaders or educators, one of the biggest challenges for them was creating community as this really large challenge started to take over a lot of the conversation, and as students and families were starting to deal with this at home. So the social emotional learning piece is really going to be important moving into the fall as schools kind of catch their breath over the summer and want to implement the things that are still going to continue to build community with their students, their parents, and the extended individuals that are working together in that space. The other area that we'll see an increase is services, platforms, technology for students with special needs. Educators reported that this was a really difficult challenge to meet the needs of students who may in the classroom or in their schools get more specialized attention. And that was really difficult for educators to do, to be able to reach students with those special needs. So companies that are serving that audience and trying to address some of those pain points will have some success as districts think about how best to implement and support those students with tools that they need. And for the hot take, for a panel of EdTech investors, it was really surprising to hear one of them say that he thinks one of the trends that will come out of the next 6 to 12 months will be print. He feels like, and I tend to agree, that schools and families and kids will be a little burnt out on doing everything via the computer, and there will be a push or a shift in providing materials that are in print for students, especially in the younger grades. Having that tangible item, that print to be able to read, is still really, really key. And as everyone kind of adapts to this new world, I think people are going to want a quick break from staring into the cameras and staring into another Zoom call. So a little bit of a hot take, but I think there might be something to that. All right, well, I hope those 4 insights gave you a view into what some of the investors are talking about in the space and other trends. And you can always check out the rest of our videos on our YouTube channel and also our blog as well, where we share a lot of insights and tips on how to reach this specific audience and the trends and things that you need to know. Take care.